In this video, we are out here at Steeplechase Park in Plano, and today we're going to be comparing McKinney to Plano. We're going to check out a few neighborhoods, we're going to check out some shopping, going to check out some restaurants, and we are definitely going to check out some nature and green space. So stay tuned. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel, welcome, glad to meet you. My name is Wendy Pinnell. I am a local real estate broker here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. In this video, like I said, we're gonna be comparing McKinney to Plano. And I'll tell you right off, they are similar in many ways, okay? Cost of living and cost of housing is very similar, okay? They're close in geographic size. And I love that because, let's just say your budget is $700,000. You're gonna get comparable price of house in either of these cities. So it allows you to be a little bit more discerning, I guess, in these other variables. You know what? But before we get into those, which we're gonna compare 4 ways that McKinney and Plano are different. But before we do that, I realize you need to know where these places are, okay? So for Plano, you're gonna start at downtown Dallas, right? You're gonna go directly north, past University Park, past Richardson, okay? And then you're gonna find Plano. Now, if you wanna find McKinney, okay, you're gonna continue north and east, you're gonna go past Allen, and then you're gonna find McKinney, okay? Population-wise, how do these two cities compare, right? That's the question. Well, in McKinney, population is 221,000, whereas in Plano, you're talking about a population of like 284,000, okay? Now, are they growing? You know, how vibrant are these cities in terms of growth? We're gonna find McKinney is growing at about 3.5% per year. So comparatively speaking, it's not growing as fast as, say, for example, Frisco, but it is growing. Plano, on the other hand, is kind of slightly declining in its population. It dropped by like 0.37%. Okay, so it's going down a little bit, but it's certainly not exploding in growth by any stretch of the imagination. McKinney, population density is 3,300, whereas Plano, it's 3,900. So the overall feel of the city, you're gonna feel like Plano's a little bit more crowded, okay? And overall, really, Plano has a more urban feel to it because if you look on the map, it's really surrounded by cities, okay? And then you look and you know, McKinney, it's further north, okay? And it's surrounded by a lot of open green space, like undeveloped land, particularly like to the north and east side of it, right? Okay, so one thing I should tell you though, you might tend to kind of gravitate towards, well, you know, crime is probably lower in McKinney because it's a more country feel. And actually the opposite is true. Plano was named the safest city in Texas in 2021. So I did want to tell you that because I love that. It's a great statistic, something to keep in mind about Plano. But okay, enough of that, right? Enough of that basic stuff. Let's jump into our first comparison. Let's talk about comparison number 1, shopping and recreation. When it comes to shopping, McKinney is charming and whimsical, okay? It's got things like wineries, it's got breweries, right? It's got your Landon Winery, your Tubbs Brewery. You know, it has this beautiful, absolutely adorable historic town square. Got all these boutiques, you know, and eateries. Then you've got your farmers market on the weekends. And it does have like some restaurants and big box stores, right? I mean, it's got a pretty big population, so it's gonna have some of those things, okay? So it's gonna have like your Walmart, your Target, you know, your Home Depot. It is gonna have those, and like I said, some restaurants, but if you're looking at like mall type of shopping, you're just not gonna find it in McKinney, okay? McKinney does not have that upper level shopping, not in quantity or, you know, that upper scale, okay? So Plano, we see just the opposite, okay? Plano has, oh goodness, they have their Legacy West, right? That's one of their big famed shopping areas. It's very upscale. It has a Legacy food hall that's very well known. It has 3 stories of different kinds of restaurants, right? More than 20 restaurants in this one building, right? So if you're like, honey, what do we want for dinner tonight? I don't know. Well, let's go over here and find out, right? You got all these choices. All right, you also have Shops at Legacy, okay? And Shops at Legacy is massive. It's similar to Legacy West. It's huge though. It has like 97 stores and restaurants, okay? And it's got, you know, like in terms of restaurants, it has plenty as well. It doesn't have, you know, the food hall, but it's got some chains like Benihana and Chipotle. It's also got really cool, unique eateries. It's got, oh goodness, like Cafe Istanbul, okay? That's like a really good example. Also got like Mexican sugar, okay? And the same thing is true with all those shops, right? You've got some that are more like your chains, like, oh goodness, Kendra Scott, like they've got an Urban Outfitters, okay? But it's also got things like Apricot Lane Boutique, okay? The Odonata, okay? So maybe stores that are a little more unique, not as common. You know what, Plano also has the Shops at Willow Bend, and this is more like your traditional indoor mall, okay? It's got your chain stores like you would expect, like Dillard's and Macy's and Foot Locker. And also there, you've got your Crayola Experience, which is a great thing for kiddos, okay? They get to watch crayons being made. It's got all these arts and crafts. It's really geared, I guess, more for like younger elementary kiddos, but the older elementary would enjoy it as well. Like you've got like your melt zone and, you know, color your car. But anyway, that's something that Plano is also really well known for. We were driving by there and we saw, you know, a couple like field trip buses coming in. So it's definitely a very hip spot for the kiddos. But you know, overall in Plano, they've got like 1,000+ restaurants, okay? They got plenty of chains, but also plenty of like upscale individual restaurants, okay? Now, just real quickly on an outdoor note, Plano has like 98 parks. McKinney has just 50. Okay, and we talked about how they're geographically like the same, right? So overall, shopping, restaurants, outdoor recreation, we're gonna find that Plano takes the cake, okay? All right, let's move on. Let's talk about comparison number 2. Let's jump into schools, okay? Because I know that's important to a lot of you. Okay, for this, we're gonna talk to niche.com, okay? What did niche.com have to say? Well, it gave Plano an A+, okay? It declared it the 16th best school district in Texas. All right, so that's Plano. How about McKinney? Well, McKinney got an A, and it was named the 51st best school district in Texas. Okay, so that's kind of them academically. Now, if you kind of hop on over to athletics, which is definitely important to a lot of you as well, Plano was the 129th best Texas school district for athletics, so not that impressive, okay? McKinney was the 53rd best Texas school district for athletes, so neither one of those are like hugely impressive, but overall, if you're trying to pick between the two, you're gonna see Plano has the better schools academically, but McKinney is gonna have better athletics. So hopefully that kind of helps you see that comparison there on the schools. Okay, let's move on to comparison number 3. Well, let's talk about housing. My favorite topic, right? Let's talk about houses. All right, now I told you earlier McKinney and Plano are gonna be similar in the price. So like the median cost of living, median price of housing is gonna be similar, but in McKinney, the median age is 2004, whereas in Plano, the median age is like 1992. You're gonna find that in McKinney, you're gonna get more variety, okay guys? We're talking old, new, acreage, HOAs, no HOAs. Okay, you're gonna find all that in McKinney, whereas in Plano, you're gonna find like mostly older homes. All right, so let me give you a look of that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Lake Forest subdivision in McKinney. Lake Forest subdivision is beautiful. It backs up to Cottonwood Creek and also Cottonwood Creek Trail. So you've got some outdoor enjoyment there. Quick access to Highway 121, so jump on and you're there. Median sales price in this neighborhood, $770,000. Average sold price, $267 a square foot. And this community is newer, and I wanted to show you that because like we said, you know, McKinney has that new construction. So built in 2019 to current, okay? So newer construction neighborhood that you're not gonna find in Plano. Specific home we're looking at here is priced at $1.3 million. It's a 5-bedroom, 4-bath, 2-car garage, right around like 4,500 square foot, priced at $247 a square foot. Really cool feature about this one is it has a ton of upgrades, okay? It has like real wood floors, has a waterfall island, has surround sound, a beautiful curved staircase, right? That kind of gives you an idea, new construction in McKinney because there is plenty of it, okay? All right, well, let's turn the corner, let's talk about Plano. Okay, let's do a comparison. Let's check out Plano, right? So let's check out the Lakeside on Preston in Plano. Okay, this one is similar in that it backs up to a green belt, okay? It's got White Rock Creek there, has quick access to Spring Creek Parkway, which is gonna lead you to Dallas North Tollway, which is great from a commute standpoint, right? It's got Archgate Park to the east, and Windhaven Meadows Park to the west. So that's very cool. You got a couple of parks really close by. Median sales price in this community, $1.12 million, okay? Average price per square foot, $240 a square foot, okay? So it kind of gives you an idea of price range in the neighborhood. Beautiful home for sale here is listed at $1.3 million, priced at $287 a square foot, about $4,500 a square foot. So it's priced a little bit higher than what you're typically gonna see, but with a good reason, okay? This one is very much like an Italian villa, all right? It has like marbleina walls, it has copper and gold leafing. Get this, all the chandeliers and sconces were imported from Italy. So this one is very fixed up. The rooms are like really specific, bold colors with like a unique texture, right? So a lot of times in homes, you'll see like they're neutralized, like with, you know, neutral paint and trim. This one is definitely not. And the reason I showed you that is it's kind of got that old world style, and that's what you see in Plano, right? Okay, we're gonna see older, we're gonna see more established, but that does not mean that they're gonna be not as attractive, right? Because this home was absolutely breathtaking. All right, so that kind of gives you a flavor of housing. Let's jump into comparison number 4. Let's talk about commute and employment, right? Because that's important, I'm sure, to a lot of you. Well, let me tell you right off, Plano has a lot more corporate headquarters, and it's closer to downtown Dallas, okay? So lots of jobs within the city, closer to the jobs in downtown Dallas, all right? So commute times, you're talking like Plano to Dallas, right around like 23 minutes, and McKinney to Dallas, right around 40 minutes, okay? Another thing about Plano, you know, it's closer, it's got the jobs within it, but it also has more highways, both surrounding the city and running through it, okay? So it has 121 bordering the north, right? Has George W. Bush bordering the south, and it has the tollway and 75, both of them running north-south. Now, of these 4, you should know that 3 of these are tollways. It's definitely something you want to take into consideration. But overall, McKinney, you know, when we compare that to Plano, McKinney has the longer commute, okay? It doesn't really have a whole lot of corporate headquarters there. And it doesn't have as great of highway access, okay? It has 121 bordering its southern side. It does have I-75 running north-south, and it does have 380 going east-west, which 380 is really, it's not really what you would call like a super great highway, okay? It's a little stop and go there. Anyway, wrapping it up, cost of living and housing is basically the same in both McKinney and Plano, okay? So we found that right off the bat. Differences though, we found out that Plano has better shopping, okay? It's rated by niche as being better academically, has a better commute, closer to downtown, has better highway access, and it's rated as the safest city in Texas in 2021, right? Pretty impressive. Okay, so that is Plano. Now how about McKinney? Well, McKinney is still gonna feel a little bit more country-ish, right? The north and east side of it, part of it borders like undeveloped green space. So that's phenomenal. It just kind of adds to that little more country feeling. The schools rank better for athletics in McKinney, right? And in McKinney, which I think this is a huge plus, you've got a lot more choices for housing. New, old, mature trees, no mature trees, HOA, no HOA, acreage, okay? You name it, have more choices that you're gonna find in McKinney than you will in Plano, right? Because Plano is all built up now. There's no space to go expanding and putting a ton of new housing in there. Anyway, was this information helpful? I sure hope it was. If it was, the next best thing you can do is head on over to my channel, watch another video, right? But before you do that, be sure and scroll down to the description section of this video, okay? Because you are gonna find lots of goodies, okay? You're gonna find our Let's Find Home questionnaire to get you started on your move to Dallas, okay? From there, you're gonna find a link to our website, and you definitely want to check out our website, okay? HomeInDallasTexas.com, because it has it all, okay? We are talking one-stop shop of all things moving in one website, okay? It's got like packing lists, utility concierge, it's got numerous new construction guides, okay? And if you didn't learn enough in these videos, it also has a link to our blog where you're gonna find tons more blog posts where we're gonna talk about communities, we're gonna talk about cities. So you got your videos on this channel plus all these blog posts, right? Anyway, lots of info for you there. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching and have a great day.